Hi neighbors, I'm Mac Smith. I'm a retired civil engineer. I've lived in Dallas about 47 years. I spent 20 of it in the construction business and about 20 more managing multi-million-dollar construction projects for Dallas area rapid transit. I'm new to politics. I don't know anyone down at City Hall. I don't know anyone any favors. I'll bring fresh eyes to the problems of the city of Dallas. I'm an engineer. I have an analytical mind. I dig out the facts, I look for cost-effective solutions, and I do the math. And that's what I'll do with the problems of the city of Dallas. In terms of your specific questions, what neighborhood do I live in? I live at the corner of Groves Creek and the power line easement. Also the North Haven Trail. I spend most of my time at home, but since the campaign began, I started spending a lot of time block walking and putting out signs. What do I hope to accomplish? Well, first, we're overtaxed. The city of Dallas tax rate is 77.6 cents per $100 valuation. Houston and San Antonio are at 56 cents. Austin is at 45. I want to freeze property tax revenues and start rolling back the tax rate to get us in line with these other major Texas cities. And I want to amend the city charter to prohibit spending increases greater than the rate of population growth plus the rate of inflation, so that the city's budget doesn't grow faster than yours. It's been growing faster than yours for about 10 years now, and we're being taxed out of our homes and rents are becoming unaffordable because of it. Second, I want to refund the police department and add about 500 officers. Our murder rate has more than doubled in the last 6 years, and we need to turn that around. I want to add enough officers so our police can be proactive instead of reactive to crime. The DPS troopers 2 summers ago were proactive, and they drastically reduced crime where they were deployed. They were brought up here because we had 40 murders in a month in South Dallas. They spent 2 months here, and they brought that rate almost to zero. That's what I mean about being proactive. And I want the police to crack down on the sale of illegal narcotics. About 5 times as many people die from drug overdoses as murders. It's really a serious problem. In terms of zoning, I think that public hearings generally attract people with an axe to grind or a scheme to make money. They're often a good source of ideas, but they don't really reflect the views of the neighborhood. And I think we need to do polling to find out what average people think before we come to any conclusions. What 3 steps would I take to put our city on a firm financial footing? Well, actually, we are on a firm financial footing thanks to the fact that we're overtaxed. Our reserves are up, even going through the pandemic, and we're in pretty good shape. But we are overtaxed, and we need to reduce wasteful spending in order to cut taxes. And I will compare the current budget with the budgets from 5 or 10 years ago to see where we added spending to find out where we can cut it. And we're going to have to make some cost reductions in some of these programs in order to find money to increase funding for the police department. And I'll insist on developing metrics to determine the value of the things we spend our money on. Our current city budget doesn't really do that, so it's hard to know whether we get any value for our money. And I'll look to see what's needed to put our police pension fund on a sound financial footing. That's the one area where we're not on a sound financial footing. We have neglected our funding our police pension fund for a long time, and I think everyone understands that we're way behind. We're going to have to do something to fix that. What would I do with the $1 million grant for the city? I would fix alleys in most of the district, and I would add sidewalks and lighting in Vickery Meadows. $1 million doesn't go very far these days, so I don't know how far we would get with it. At any rate, that's the answers to your questions. If you'd like to know more about me, please visit my website. It's macsmith413.com. That's macsmith413.com. It's been a pleasure talking to you, and good night.